scratch marks on his arm right here. I don't know if that has to do anything with Junko scratching you.
Were you sick with the rash? Possibly.
Aniki, what was I sick with? I don't remember.
You did have a rash on your arm, I remember.
Yes,
I thought you said you had a headache and a stomach ache.
I had a headache, I don't remember everything.
Are you lying?
I am not lying, thank you very much.
Hey, shut up.
I just thought of this, but what if the poison wasn't, what if the poison actually wasn't a murder weapon? Like, what if Junko was actually going to murder somebody else, and she broke in and somebody else found her, and they had an altercation, and she wasn't originally supposed to be the victim.
There was also another bit of evidence that was concentrated. Yes, Elias?
Planting one of the fake nails in the boys' locker because they were fake nails by the pool. There's more there, and there's only one in the boys' locker. They had to open his mail, and he went in with a nail on the floor.
When you do that.
The note
To me,
wasn't,
it was a different boy.
even though the note was in Anoshima's room, it wasn't addressed to her. It was addressed to all students, which means that she could have written it herself and meant to give it to someone else. But obviously some things came up.
That is true. I didn't find this slipped under her door. I found it by her bedside. I wouldn't.
We have a pervert on our hands.
Excuse me.
Daru?
Haru.
The perfect example of a gentleman. If you don't believe me, you're welcome to come to my room tonight and find out.
Anyways, I definitely did not find this letter under her door. It was by her bedside. Either she could have written it herself and intended to make copies of it, or someone gave it to her and she took it to her bedroom to read it over.
Yes?
Maybe Junko was trying to kill someone, and then she was going to send that letter before she could. Someone else showed up.
Possibly, but did anyone else receive a letter?
Please.
No. And then can I ask one more question? Of all the kids who were not in their rooms that night, who are they? Again? Not in their rooms.
It's Leon,
Where were you guys?
I went to the nurse's office.
Nurse's office? What about you?
I went to the pool entrance and I heard the struggle, but before that I was walking around.
And Leon, right?
I was walking around the hallways. I passed by the nurse's office, but I did see who was in there.
Okay. Is that all?
Well,
There's one other that wasn't in their room.
who was it?
That was me. I was walking by the nurse's office, but I didn't go to the nurse's office, and I followed the trail actually. I was just walking around.
Did you happen to go by the changing rooms?
Back to my room.
I think we have an objection.
Didn't you mention that you went into the nurse's office and found an empty bottle of the powder, even though the bottle they have is still half full?
Isn't Asakina also the one with the key?
Ishimara got the key earlier. And
But
besides,
he gave it to
Asakina had the
us.
key now, and as I said, she might have forgotten to have re-locked the door.
Yeah, I did. Ishimara, when did you give the key to us?
Just yesterday.
Yesterday? When did the murder happen?
Murder happened last night, actually. The body was found this morning at around 6:20.
By who?
Guys, stop. Didn't Asakina say that she found the nurse's office door open?
No, actually, I left it open, but I got the key for the first time to the car.
Leon?
Did you ever give the key back to Ishimara? Do you remember what you did with it?
Yeah, I had it in my pocket accidentally.
When did you get the key from Ishimara?
The day I felt sick and stuff.
When?
The night of murder.
What time?
I don't know.
I think we have an objection.
Or she was sick, so she probably didn't really.
Soko was actually the one who found Junko's body. Except, the thing is, when a body is found, the alarm doesn't go off sounding there was a dead student. There has to be 3 students first to find the body before everyone else does. Which is a stupid rule, but
announcement go off after she found the body?
The announcement did not. I believe she called maybe 2 other students in there.
Who found it?
Sakura was the one that found the body.
Who were the other 2 students who found it?
I don't know, Sakura?
Yes, I called you.
And I had woken up pretty early, so she called me also.
So, Mondo, Sakura, and Sakura were the ones who saw the body before everyone else found it. So, I guess we're pretty stumped at this point. Does anyone else at our house have anything else to say? You.
I just wanted to say, Mono. Never mind, actually.
Oh, okay. Yes, Anami.
Okay, so what time did you say you saw Ishimaru in his room?
Well, it was that morning when I passed by his room. I knocked on his door to check on how he was doing, but he was still asleep.
Was that before or after the morning announcement?
That was before I had gone to, that was before Sakura called
So
me.
after the morning announcement?
I don't remember.
See, if it was after the morning announcement, it'd be really weird if Ishimaru wasn't already up because he is very steadfast to the rules.
He was sick.
Were you sick today?
Yes.
Are you sick right now?
Yes.
I thought you were sick.
But you forgot what you had.
I'm not talking about my headaches.
You claimed to knock on his door, but was the door locked or was the door open?
No, it was closed, it was locked. I knocked on it and
But you said you saw him sleeping.
I just assumed that he was sleeping. The door was closed.
Forget.
So yeah, I knocked on his door, it was locked, assumed he was sleeping, and then went to Sakura. That's when Sakura called me.
So he didn't respond at all.
There was no response. So
For all we know, I could have been dead.
It's possible he wasn't
You other Mono.
at that time.
well, he was sick.
Just to make sure this question doesn't
I
get
was
asked,
sick.
there is no possible way to pick the locks, right?
Nope, you'll get killed.
Uwada, you said you knocked and there was no response. That doesn't mean Ishimaru was technically in his room, does it?
I was sick.
He was
Well,
sick, he was
so
sleeping.
you say.
Or intentionally ignoring it.
I can confirm that Ishimaru wasn't in his room in the morning. I walked out there and his door was closed. Afterwards,
Yes.
Where can someone get the gloves that you found near the pool?
The nurse's office. The nurse.
Sakina.
Exactly. Now, I guess I shouldn't have said empty poison bottle. You see, and I can touch this because I'm a stuffed animal. So, the powder is actually usually filled up to here. So it was obviously used because it's not full. But there was the trail of powder, and there was powder in the room. So, obviously it was used. But this was from the nurse's office, but exactly back where it was before. So, pretty weird.
How long were the gloves?
The gloves? They were pretty big, I'd have to say.
So even if Enoshima was scratching in resistance, if the culprit had been wearing the gloves at that point, they wouldn't have any marks on their arms because they were protected by the gloves.
Yes.
Wow.
so it's possible that Ishimaru did have a rash from his scratching on himself.
It's very, very embarrassing. Please talk about it.
Yes, Nanami.
Did you say anything about a broom?
There was a bloom. In fact, well, once again, our diagram. So here's the pull-in twins. The door was right here. The bloom was positioned right here, propped up against one of the walls. I'm not sure why it was there, unless they wanted to sweep up the powder, but that's pretty silly. So the bloom was propped up against one of the walls.